Alright, baseball fans, we've hit a significant milestone. We are officially about 1 month into the 2025 Major League Baseball season. The weather is getting warmer. The sample sizes are growing. And we're starting to get a clearer picture, or perhaps a more confusing one, of who's good, who's bad, and who's just weirdly chaotic. While it's still too early to make any definitive proclamations, we've certainly seen enough to start asking some serious questions about the teams off to unexpectedly strong starts. Are they legitimate contenders built for the long haul? Or are they just hot right now and destined to fade back to the pack? Yahoo Sports recently gathered their MLB experts to debate exactly this question, putting 5 specific teams under the microscope: the Chicago Cubs, the San Francisco Giants, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Detroit Tigers, and the Texas Rangers. Each of these teams has shown flashes, surprised in various ways, and left analysts wondering just what to make of them. Let's break down what the experts are saying about each of these fascinating clubs, looking at the arguments for and against believing in their early success. First up, sitting atop the NL Central with a 16-10 record, are the Chicago Cubs. Are they for real? The experts are leaning towards yes, but with a major asterisk. The why behind their success is hard to ignore. Their offense is absolutely raking. Their team ops of .805 isn't just good, it paces the entire league. They have guys like Kyle Tucker, who one expert calls the best Cubs hitter since peak Chris Bryant. Pete Crow Armstrong looking like a burgeoning superstar. Michael Busch playing like a top 5 first baseman. And Seiya Suzuki elevating the ball with authority. They've played baseball's toughest schedule so far and still sit atop their division with the best run differential in MLB. That's impressive. However, the asterisk is their pitching situation, particularly the bullpen. Their bullpen era is a sky-high 5.34, which is the 4th worst in all of MLB. This leads to a chaotic, high-scoring style of baseball that one expert hilariously describes as scoring and surrendering runs by the truckload. Losing frontline starter Justin Steele for the entire season was a gut punch to the rotation. But the experts believe there's just enough arm talent there, combined with the starting rotation's solid 7th best era, that the Cubs can be a good team. The combination of a potent lineup and a shaky bullpen means no lead is ever safe for them or their opponent, making for exhilarating but exhausting baseball. Despite the chaos, the offensive firepower and solid underlying rotation give the experts enough confidence to lean towards believing in Chicago as a division contender. Next, sitting second in the stacked NL West with a 16-9 record, are the San Francisco Giants. Are they contenders? The experts are more mixed and somewhat skeptical here, though they acknowledge it's an improvement. One expert calls them an interesting .500 ball club off to a hot start. The major bright spot, the player everyone does believe in, is South Korean sensation Young-Hoo Lee. After his 2024 rookie season was derailed by injury, Lee is healthy and providing a much-needed spark in center field. Both offensively and defensively, he's seen as a real difference maker and someone fans can finally invest in emotionally. Beyond Lee, and perhaps established veterans like Matt Chapman and Logan Webb, the experts see a lot of fine, but underwhelming. The rotation behind workhorse Webb hasn't impressed, and the lineup behind Lee and Chapman lacks punch. Major offseason additions like Willie Adames have faceplanted out of the gate, and others are struggling. While they have an elite bullpen early on, shout out to Randy Rodriguez. The overall picture leaves experts concerned about their ability to keep pace in the ultra-loaded NL West. Their farm system isn't seen as strong enough to easily backfill injuries or make a big trade deadline splash. While they are seen as better and more watchable than recent Giants squads, most experts are skeptical they have enough to make the postseason in such a tough division. Perhaps competing for a wild card spot but not a division title. Moving to the American League, sitting third in the AL East with a 12-13 record, are the Toronto Blue Jays. Are they for real? The experts are generally out on the Jays as a true contender right now. There are positives. Extending Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was huge for the franchise's future. Their bullpen is much improved thanks to the dominance of Jeff Hoffman, and veterans Chris Bassett and Kevin Gausman are holding up. As is George Springer, who's been a top 10 hitter early. However, the negatives seem to outweigh the positives for the experts. The lineup is viewed as dangerously shallow behind the top few hitters, even if Anthony Santander gets hot. There's a lack of impact from hitters 5 through 9. The rotation is top-heavy and facing issues. Max Scherzer is already injured. Jose Berrios continues to struggle, leaving them with only about 3 reliable arms and no clear fifth starter. Their farm system doesn't offer immediate reinforcements, meaning an injury to any key player on either side of the ball could be cataclysmic. Even in a surprisingly soft AL East, the experts are selling on the Blue Jays, believing there are much more talented teams in their division and that Toronto might be a year or two away from true contention. Heading to the AL Central, leading the pack with a 15-10 record, are the Detroit Tigers. Are they for real? Here, the experts are largely all in and believe in the Tigers' strong start. The biggest reason? Their pitching, building on their success from the second half of 2024. The Tigers simply know how to get outs. Their team ERA of 2.94 ranks third in all of MLB. They appear to have developed a legitimate starting rotation, not just relying on Tariq Skubal, but also seeing former number 1 picks Casey Mize and Spencer Torkelson finally performing like the top prospects they were. While the offense isn't top tier, it's definitively better than last year, fueled by the breakout of first baseman Spencer Torkelson, who arrived in camp with reworked mechanics and is having a meaningful hot start that the experts are buying. They get contributions from guys like Gleyber Torres, Zach McKinstry, and Kerry Carpenter against righties. While they could use one more imposing bat, the pitching and overall organizational strength make them believers. Experts praise manager A.J. Hinch, their pitching development machine pumping out relievers, and a stacked farm system that can provide reinforcements or trade pieces. Some even think Detroit could finish with the best record in the American League. The Tigers are seen as a team that knows what it's doing, with a legitimate chance to contend for the AL Central title and potentially make a deeper playoff run. Finally, leading the AL West with a 14-10 record, are the Texas Rangers. Are they for real? The experts are worried, particularly about the offense. The surprise here isn't that they're winning, but how they're winning. Their offense, supposedly the strength of the team with a $100 million lineup of stars, has stunk. They've scored fewer runs than almost anyone in baseball, except the Rockies, Royals, and White Sox. This is the second straight year this star-studded group, featuring guys like Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, who's already injured, Adolis Garcia, Jake Berger, Josh Young, and Jock Peterson, is underperforming. Exceptions are Wyatt Langford, who looks like an MVP candidate, and underrated Josh Smith. The saving grace for the Rangers is their impressive starting pitching, led by Nathan Eovaldi and Tyler Mahle, even if his era isn't sustainable, and an inconsistent but not disastrous bullpen. The experts find it hard to completely jump ship because of the sheer talent on the roster and the fact that their division isn't as strong as in recent years. However, concerns about the bats waking up and durability questions, highlighted by Seager's injury, make experts hesitant to go all in, despite their championship pedigree and the belief they could turn it around. The offensive struggles leave significant doubt about whether all facets of the team can fire simultaneously long enough for them to find their groove and contend for the long haul. So, there you have it, 1 month in, and the debate is raging. The Cubs are exciting but chaotic. The Giants are improved but maybe not enough for their division. The Blue Jays have pieces but seem shallow and injured. The Tigers look like legitimate contenders built on pitching and development. And the Rangers are winning despite their biggest supposed strength being a weakness. The first month gave us insights, but May will be crucial in determining which of these teams are truly built to last and which were just enjoying an early season hot streak.